Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm working on a spread in my sketchbook with a limited palette, and I will be working on a bird, as you can see in the sketch initially on the right, and incorporating a pattern on the left-hand side. So please join me. Pull out your paints if you have them. This is a house sparrow, so if you're interested in joining along, I recommend you just do a quick Google and find a great picture that you find pleasing and work from that as reference, as long as you are shifting and changing a bit, playing with the colors, doing that sort of thing, and you're not selling something, you are welcome to work from publicly available reference. If you are hoping to sell, then you should definitely get permission or attribution. Attribution. Sorry, it's like I turn on the microphone and my mind goes blank. Why does that happen? I don't know. Anyway, that's an important piece, the attribution. Anyway, what is going on right now in this video? Let me tell you. And I'll just walk through, for those who are relatively new to gouache, what my process is. So you guys saw that I started with a simple sketch. We are watching this on, I believe, 4x speed, because I don't know, I just feel like nobody has time to actually watch like a full hour of me mixing paint. But we'll see. I'll continue to play. Last week I did a lot of sort of real-time stuff, and the video was really long. I don't know if it was enjoyable, but some people actually watched. I was impressed. So anyway, this one I just felt like I needed it to be more snack size. I don't know about you guys, but December is insanity. So I just want to make sure that if others are dealing with the same time constraints that I am, that they can get a little art in, take this in, make something of their own, do something fun. Because I do feel like it's the season that we all get so wrapped up and so busy that there's no time to really make time for ourselves. So making the spread for me was really enjoyable because I was able to carve out some time, all told, with both sides. I think this was probably about a 45-minute to an hour exercise. And so it took a little longer, but if you want to make it shorter, you can make it shorter. You could make it a smaller, work in a smaller book, or carve out a smaller section, work with a smaller brush. All of those things are possible. But just to give you all a sense of what my goal was, I was aiming to do a limited palette. So I had picked out some colors ahead of time. I wanted to incorporate terracotta, a mustard yellow, a cream, and a deep burgundy to really sort of have a cohesive spread that would be somewhat seasonal. It's kind of fall-ish. And, oh, there's my forehead. You can see my forehead. Sorry. Who says I never appear on camera? There I am. There I am. So I did mix up some of these colors ahead of time. I'm not going to be super strict with it, but it is good to have that on view. I also added a very dark blue, which is practically black. And that was something that I felt like I just needed a little bit more contrast. And so I went for it. You can see I'm working across the spread at the same time. I have incorporated some initial marks on the left-hand side, which is going to be one of my kind of squiggly patterns that I've been doing lately that I find very soothing and relaxing to do. My sketch of this bird on the right went off the page. Sorry, I just crashed into my watercolor box, which I'm now closing so that I can stop crashing into it while I'm making this recording. So it goes off the page. It would have been nice to have the tail included. I probably could have done a better placement, but I just decided to go with it because I was liking the shape of the bird, and I thought it might just be a nice kind of portrait and really focus on the key parts of the bird that I was doing, which was kind of the head and that sort of like main section. I did choose a dark background, and it's funny because now watching it, I'm sort of like, ooh, I don't know if there's not enough contrast, but we'll see as I go ahead and add in some highlights and things like that. I do like that deep kind of blue. I think it's a very soothing color. And so I don't regret it. I just know that I'm going to have to do something to make the bird really stand out. And I think I do even lighten it up. You can see in that last round a little bit of lighter blue surrounding the bird to make the bird stand out a little bit more. And you'll see that throughout. So yeah, I decided to block in the background and see where it took me. In the past, I've done things like do the entire background before I even start the sketch. Today I felt like just sketching it in and working it around. But either way is fine. I think if you are really looking for a warmth or sort of an undertone, doing the entire background before you lay down the sketch even is a kind of a good way to go. But sometimes you just don't have enough time. Sometimes you're really busy and you have to get to your son's basketball game, for example. Just saying. And so this is a great way to just make it go a little quicker, and you don't have to wait for that layer to dry and all that sort of stuff. Although I will say that gouache does dry so quickly that drying time generally is not an issue for me. I mean, it is generally dry by the time I've finished, on the left, the right will be ready for me to go a little further. So on the left here, I just decided to work around the same time, meaning I would work a little bit on the right and a little bit on the left and eventually have kind of an interesting juxtaposition between the pattern that I'm building on the left and the image that I'm building on the right. And so that is really the way that I started to go. I had kind of done some online research and decided on this color palette just because I wanted to have something that was a little bit more limited in nature, and I sometimes have trouble deciding. So sometimes you can go online and just Google like palettes, and it's interesting what you can come up with. And this one seemed perfect for this particular bird, and so this has been fun to work with. And actually, I'm quite pleased with the colors. I think they're really nice. I have added a little bit of white in some cases. It's not 100% compliant with the colors I'd put below, but I like the direction it's going. The trick with birds for me is how to have the sort of the suggestion of feathers without having it be ultimately too feathery, I guess. And so you'll see that I kind of go back and forth on this. I'll add some feathers and then I'll cover them up. I clearly had made a mistake with that chest piece with the brown too low, and I think I'm about to just cover it up, and I welcome that because this definitely needs it. There you go. See, just cover right up. That was a mistake. I got rid of it. It's kind of satisfying. And then here I'm just working on the actual claws, which I've given kind of the terracotta color. So just a little hit of that. I put some of that into the actual feathers just to have it echoed across some other parts. Don't know if I love that. I think I cover that up later. That's all fine. One of the great things about gouache is that you can try something, and if you don't like it, you paint over it, which is very satisfying. So now you can see I'm not being particularly rigid on the shapes that I'm doing on the pattern, but I am trying to create a little bit more texture and color on that left side. So using repetitive shapes, but having each color have its own shape and size gives a little bit more of the pattern feel, as opposed to just being kind of an abstract random thing. Okay, from here on in, I am refining and adding more to my pattern. I'll be going back and forth across the spread to add some details and fix some areas that I feel like need fixing on the bird. I'll be adding highlights. I will be adding some more texture to all of the feathers, giving some shading into the back of the bird, and just generally kind of getting it to the point where I feel like I like the way it looks. And so I did speed it up a little bit more just because, you can kind of take it in. It's this is the sort of lengthier part of the process where you just kind of keep going. And Josie, my sister, and I have a back and forth where whenever one of us says, "What do you think?" We send each other texts of some of the art that we're making. And inevitably, the response is, "Keep going." So, yeah, so just keep going. I think that's a really good motto, actually. Keep on trucking. So before I wrap up, I just wanted to mention I do have a pattern class coming up in February. I'll put the link below. I'm really excited. I had done a free workshop back in, gosh, was it October or November? It was November. And this will be a 4-part class, and we'll be looking at pattern in nature, pattern in art, making patterns of our own as inspired by many different sources. And just generally having a lovely creative time. 4 sessions. It is online, but you can catch the recording if you can't make the specific times when we're meeting. So take a look at that. And if you're interested, please do click through and sign up. Otherwise, I just hope everyone's having a wonderful December. I know that my December is super busy. I'm actually going to be heading out to see Hamnet later today, which I'm really excited about. I really loved that book. And so I am excited to sit and enjoy the movie in the theater. So that about does it. I'm wrapping up this video, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you are making your own comfortable, happy, cozy spreads in this otherwise very cold time of year. And that you will comment below if there's something that you would love to share relative to this video. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm really glad you were here. See you soon.